How's it going, everyone? My name is Jeff and we're back with another video behind the glass, and today we're going to be discussing about whether or not bigger is better. Get your head out of the gutter. Now, as for whether bigger is better in terms of water volume, yes, bigger is always better. But sometimes you may not want a bigger tank, sometimes a smaller tank works better for you, depends on your lifestyle. But yeah, that's what today's video topic is going to be all about. I'm just going to be going over 4 different reasons why bigger may be better for your situation. First reason being water volume, second reason being water stability, third reason being the space that you have, and the fourth reason being personal preference. Now, if you find this kind of content informative, it would mean a lot to me if you went ahead and subscribed to my channel, gave my video a like or dislike to let me know how you think of these, and leave a comment below if you think that bigger is always better. So to start with, water volume. Now, water volume is super important for many reasons, but the most important reason is that overall, the more water you have, the more stable the water is, and the less likely you are to have a cycle crash, a pH crash, any crash, and the more likely that your fish are to be healthy and happy. So does this mean that when you keep a beta in a little 3-gallon tank that beta is now suffering? No, that's not what I'm saying. But what I am saying is that in general, the more space you have, the healthier the environment, the more fish you can have, and the happier you'll probably be. And think about it in real life too. I mean, which one has a healthier ecosystem? The puddle that formed after a rainfall in the road, or the pond that's been there for thousands of years, that's tens of thousands of gallons? Well, that's pretty easy to decide. The puddle doesn't have life, and the pond has had life for thousands of years. And that's all to say, your aquarium is a reflection of that. The more water volume that you have, the better off you're going to be, and the more diverse of an ecosystem you can sustain within it. It also helps keep your pH stable, helps prevent your nitrates from going so high. Having more water volume also makes it so that if you do accidentally slip up and have an ammonia spike or a nitrite spike or a pH crash, if you regularly test your water, you'll notice it very fast, and it won't take hold of your tank nearly as fast as a small tank volume will. Because think about it this way, if you have a little 3-gallon and suddenly an ammonia explosion happens, that little 3-gallon is gonna be cloudy and you're not gonna be able to see into it in like minutes. Actually like 30 minutes from clear to nothing inside. Comparatively, if you have a giant 300-gallon tank or bigger, that's 10 foot long and however big. If you do see that the water is starting to get a little cloudy, you can do a water test, and it will still take upwards of like a day or maybe even 2 days that you can react to the algae bloom, and you can react in time to actually save your tank before anything happens. Which brings me on to my next subject, which is size preference. Now, everybody has a size preference. Some people like smaller, some people like bigger. Most people like bigger because bigger is better. This one's more or less personal preference. Like, to me, I would personally say that if you're a casual aquarist or you just want to keep 1 tank or 2 tanks throughout your house, I would highly recommend keeping a tank somewhere roughly between maybe 40 to 60 gallons would be a good safe bet for a tank that's going to be sizable, that you can keep a lot of fish in, still going to be stable, and most importantly is going to be very easy to keep clean. So if you're just looking for like a medium-sized tank, I would recommend somewhere between 40 to 60 in terms of width. And anything bigger, you're going to need a sump system to reliably keep it clean, or an FX4 or FX6 filter. If you have like a 125 or bigger tank, you're absolutely going to need a sump. And if you have anywhere between a 10 to a 20-gallon tank, you'll probably just need a hang-on back filter. Nothing special there. So now let's go on to the third reason why bigger is usually better, and that comes into the number of fish that you're actually able to keep in a tank. In a small little 3-gallon tank, you can only keep 1 beta or maybe 2 or 3 guppies, and you're set. You can't have anything more. Maybe a shrimpin with the guppies, but that's it. You can't really keep anything else, and that's because the water volume is so small that it can't handle a large bioload. Whereas, again, we're going to use a giant 310-foot tank example behind me. If we had that with I could theoretically put in like, I'm just gonna take a shot in the dark, and I would say I could probably comfortably fit in 30 bluegills or sunfish or something in that 10-foot tank. Oh, I shouldn't have said gallons. In that 10-foot tank. So probably about 30 bluegills in a 10-gallon. I keep saying gallon. 30 bluegills in a 10-foot tank. Or maybe like 3 or 4 largemouth bass, or something along those lines. But the point is that you can have much bigger fish in a much bigger aquarium. If you really want to go extreme in a 10-foot tank, you could even keep an arowana with any other river fish, or maybe some tiger sharks or silver dollars or some other big passive fish. But point is, I'm getting sidetracked. Bigger tank means more water volume, which means more fish, which means happier you. The fourth reason why you might want to consider sometimes bigger may not be better and smaller may be better for you, and that comes in terms of ease of maintenance. Now, when it comes to maintenance, obviously bigger is not better, because then that involves more work. So if you're somebody that doesn't have all the time in the world, a smaller tank that's between 10 to 20 gallons may work for you. But for the most part, it's a lot easier to actually keep larger tanks clean, even though they take more time to clean. And that may sound a little funny to you, but think about it this way. If something happens in your 10-gallon tank and the cycle crashes and it's almost an immediate like Thanos snap, like gone, that tank is like gone within hours. Whereas if you have a 75-gallon tank, that tank's gonna take up to like half a day for something to happen if something does end up happening, so you have more than plenty of time to react to something happening. Now, why does that matter in terms of tank maintenance? Well, it matters because if you have a longer window of opportunity to correct something that's going wrong, it makes it a lot less stressful when it comes to actually correcting that thing that's going wrong. In addition to that, your fish are going to be a lot less stressed out when you do make a drastic change to your water, like if you empty out 50% or more of your water in an emergency. Having more water also prevents your cycle from crashing if you get old tank syndrome or new tank syndrome, or if your pH crashes for some reason, or if something abhorrent goes wrong. Bigger tanks are always going to be better in terms of preventing disasters from happening. So a short little summary in general, because I've been kind of freeballing this. I don't take notes, I don't read off of a script or anything, I just kind of free flow these, so this video is probably all over the place, but I'm still gonna push it out anyway. So first reason bigger is better is for water volume. Second reason, more fish, larger fish. Third reason, ease of maintenance. Fourth reason, I don't remember what my fourth reason was. But oh man, what am I gonna call this video now? Bigger's better, end of story. If you like this video, go ahead and give this video a like or a dislike. I'll probably be expecting more dislikes on this video because I was all over the place and disorganized. Feel free to subscribe to my channel. I promise to be a little bit more efficient with my actual opinion videos. Feel free to also leave a comment below if you think whether or not bigger is better or not. And I look forward to seeing you in a future video. You guys have a great one.